I don't know what to say about the game that I haven't already said. I love it. I spent way too much time on it, and yet not enough time. And it can only get better. And I'm excited to see what the patches bring. Like, I don't really care about rebinding controls because I think they're fine, but I understand that having that option's wonderful. And I'm happy that the team put it in. Like not going into, oh, whether it's not the basic function. I don't especially think that way. Because the base game is fun, and like if you were being not generous, what's the word? If you were being slightly mean-spirited, then you would say it's serviceable. Well, no, it's perfectly fine. I don't even, like, besides the fact that I got the key for free for the early access preview thing, I don't think the price is especially bad. It's good co-op fun, it offers you something new and exciting, and yeah, alright, it doesn't look amazing, but you know what? It's barely 3 gigabytes if that, and it runs pretty well as a result. And aesthetically, it doesn't look bad. Graphically, sure, it's not going to win any awards, but it's fun. And that's, you know, video games are played for fun. This isn't, I wouldn't call this ugly. I don't particularly feel like my eyes are suffering from me watching the game. This isn't an I put up with this situation. So, all I'm saying is everything's got a trade-off. That's an awkward spot to defend. Let's do this one instead. Interrupted my train of thought. It's completely derailed now. Sort of focusing on everything else. Periodic swapping to things to make sure they're fully loaded. But yeah, as an engineer is the easiest, I forgot to mention, engineer is the easiest class to solo with, because obviously not only do you get, like, Bosco, you get the 2 sentry guns and your own weaponry, so you total a full team of 4, essentially. Slightly stupid team of 4, but the 2 on Bosco means that if you ever lose health completely, that's the amount of times he will revive you. Likely to happen after a cave leech grabs you and Bosco doesn't rescue you, which is very frequent. As you just saw a few seconds ago, that sentry fired at that bug once, but dear old Bosco got in the way because he's fucking annoying. Floating around where he's no business to be for no reason. So I please, if you take anything away from what I said, developers, remove his goddamn hitboxes. There is just no reason for him to have any. He's not a target. But he does get in the way as a thing of having it. And for that matter, I can't figure, like, if I go up to this sentry to refill it and hold E, and Bosco flies in the way, I'm not 100% certain why that interrupts the holding. Because Bosco doesn't react to anything with an E in it, you know? It's not like, oh, this other thing that might take precedence because it's newer is why I'm interrupting it. We're on the last, we are on the last third of the wave. Okay, I've been recording for 33 minutes. This is actually probably going to be a longer mission than most. I tend to end mine under 50 minutes, like the solo ones. Co-op tends to be 20 to 35 minutes. What do you find? Holy shit, he found compressed... What? I randomly sent him to dig to make a point and he found compressed gold. What the actual fuck? You're weird. You're weird. It's with... these are hard... By the way, I just noticed this. Developers, can you make the gold deposits, like, a bit easier to see? Give them a glitter effect or something? Because I would have just thought those were rocks from a distance. So, once the mission control person says, oh, the wave's dying down, whatever, expect a small goodbye wave of a few bugs, 1 to 5 usually, and then you can go. So when you hear him say that it's almost over, you can basically go. Pick up your sentries, don't worry about it. We are still in that goddamn chamber, that's amazing. Did I just get a super cave, or what? There's things up there. And I'm a curious dwarf. I hope I managed to find fossils in short order. I have bad luck with things in the ground. Like, if I have to dig out eggs or collect fossils, I will do absolute shit. Because they're just nowhere. And then they'll be at the end clustered into groups of 3. That's been my experience with them. I think we're where I need to be. Oh, almost. Okay, I tried to jump and I couldn't because this weird geometry prevented me, so a little bit of an adjustment is sometimes necessary, but again, you know, don't worry about it. This isn't an especially panicky game. You're not gonna get anything out of it by losing your shit and, you know, being hyperactive, which is weird for me to say because I'm hyperactive. Okay, so I can almost drop down, but I like to play somewhat safe around huge drops. And now I'm up here. Let's see if it gets me anything. Well, thank you. How rude. There's nothing there. And there's nothing there, so while that was a complete waste of time, I at least have a better vantage point now. But fuck that, we're gonna go down. Yeah. Boomf. Way faster loading into Molly. This running over everything is usually why I tell Bosco to do things, even if I could reach them. Besides the fact that I don't expend resources to get to like a higher up platform that I could feasibly mine, taking time and resources. This way, all it takes is time, and I get to keep hanging on to my little resourceables. I just realized that I expended basically no ammo during the last wave. That's cropper, and there is absolutely no way on this earth that I'm not getting it. So I will have to make a note of that, because I need that for my upgrades, and I need a lot of it for my upgrades. I'll probably forget, and that's some cropper, I think, but... Whoa. Yeah, I haven't actually had too many geysers yet, so I'm not completely used to them. That is indeed cropper. I'm gonna let him do it. And also, way forward again. Is he... Okay, so they're somewhere. Yeah, I see one. Okay. Like, I could dig up there, I could use platforms, but realistically, it's a bit of an ass pain. If I had a scout, then the scout could grapple up there, and if there was an engineer, they could platform for the scout to land on and mine, and that would be fine. That's how co-op works. I'm not asking for quality of life changes that sort of undermine the purpose of co-op. Just noting that, you know, that's a thing. But I have no idea where this is going to lead to. Usually these sort of forward-way tunnels, like, go downwards. They're at the foot of a tunnel that just spirals downwards at some point. The one like thing that I don't like is if you press M, you get a map. This is completely useless to me. I interpret the massive white area everywhere as an open space, but I'm in a tunnel and I'm in an open space. So, I don't know, maybe refine the map or remove it? I don't honestly get the point of the map. And, I mean, if I do it again, you know, it's so extremely zoomed in that you can't see a whole lot of the area around you. That's not the way. That's the way. Hi. That's indeed the way, but I think this is still the same chamber. Are you kidding? What? This generation's weird. This is supposed to be a tunnel that makes you go forward, but it's the same chamber. So I don't know what happened. I'm not complaining, but it's definitely odd. Well, what this means is that if this is all there is, then I'm in trouble. Because there are fossils that I haven't gotten yet. Which means I either didn't notice them, or I noticed them and forgot, or they're in completely annoying arbitrary-ass positions. And that's a problem for me, because it's going to make the video longer. Unless I intend not to finish it. Hi. I'd like to finish the mission, though, because, you know, I've got resources that I would dearly like to deposit and not lose after an hour of work. So that just gave me an idea, just this very minute. You know how the scout is called the scout? Let him scout. Maybe have his targeting laser thing act a little bit differently. Make it maybe be a permanent marking so people can see things. you know, just let him scout things out. Let him find things. Fossils in the wall. I've no way, no real way without getting hurt of throwing a flare up here to see what's up on the roof if there's anything. There was nothing. Damage. And that's if you're even fortunate to have a geyser to work that off of. What's that? Morkite. I do believe that was where the other cropper was. I can see it. So we're going to need to go over there. Doop, doop. And that's going to present some challenges, because yeah. Oh, no, it's not. Excellent. But realistically speaking, that is way too damn high. It is going to take some mining to get there. So I'm going to go and meet it halfway. Huh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a platform right there. Boop. Get on top of another one right there. And then I can mine. And it is still mining, and it's still a pain in the ass, but... Well, it isn't... I say it's a pain in the ass, but it's not optimal. I'm one of those unfortunate people who absolutely has to have, like, everything ideally going on. I try to optimize everything, that's all that means, don't worry about it. But I'm here. There's absolutely nothing worth my time here besides the cropper. So, I'm glad I only spent, two platforms on it instead of 5 or 6 that would have taken to do it without digging. I think what I'm going to end up doing, and you probably won't hear this as a result, is edit the video so, like, there's not the dead space of me looking for fossils. I have to say, not only am I missing some Morkite, which probably is on the floor in bits and pieces, I'm missing 3 fossils, and I'm not happy about it, because I have no idea where they are. And if you get one big chamber like this, it's exceptionally easy to get lost. You don't sort of know where everything is in relation to each other. I'm the kind of person that does a mental map of things. I feel like I could, of this one, like given enough time, at least sort of suspect where things are. But it is quite the ask of like the regular player. Okay, so that's all the Morkite that I need. It is literally just the fossils now. You may notice that me spamming E was also interrupted by Bosco flying over. There was an uncharacteristic minute pause. That's a wave. Okay, the wave announcement was overridden by the notification that I completed the primary objective, so I actually have slightly less time to deploy now, because I didn't notice it in time. But the sort of klaxon blaring thing in the background alerted me that actually, yeah, you... hang on. You want to actively engage the biggest aggressors as engineer with your shotgun so your sentries don't end up firing at hard shells and wasting their ammo. So I have enough nitro to call in 3 more supplies. I could feasibly spend time searching for fossils. It is just tremendously boring. And this kind of exact thing is why I was reluctant to pick this mission. I do not like search and find missions. They are probably among the worst. There might have to be improvements made so that people aren't, you know, frustrated running around like this. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated yet, but I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not going to be. This is bloating my video time without me meaning to. And it isn't fun to watch, so very likely I will have to, like, edit these bits out, obviously for your viewing pleasure. I might upload them as 3 videos, although I'd rather not. That's just getting greedy now, and it's, you know, just waiting and walking. Move away from my sentries, why not? Smart thing to do. This is the problem, is I'm not the scout. I can't ceiling flare to see things. But I will share a tip with you that I just remembered, is if... I'm going to have to show you. So... that's... well, that's fine. Yeah, difficulty 1, I'd be in trouble, etc. But, you know, I'm not. Oh. Okay, so I'm pressing... Fuck off. I'm gonna press F. That's how far my flare goes. Okay. 2 steps back. Run forward and flare. My flare flies a whole lot further. In fact, it bounced out of the cave. If you need to get your flare somewhere, always do it from a running start. Jumping also helps, and obviously the way you're looking also helps. There are no flares over here. Did I finally find a new section, or... Probably not. I feel like this is just going to go back into the same area. Note that I have not seen a single fossil still. Like, since the last one, which I think was that awkward one. Nope. I thought for a second I saw one, but it's just random, weird cave rock. You have to look behind you sometimes. If there's like an overhang or whatever, then you're not gonna... Like as I pass through here, if this was lower down... Okay, so this right here, this lip, I don't think there's anything there. Do-do-do-do-do. I turn around. Oh, there might be a fossil there. At an angle that I couldn't have discerned. Oh, thank fuck. This is new area. I am absolutely sorry it took this long. I hope I have the common sense to edit this down to one video. Although even with doing so, this is such a long mission that it might not be. I'd probably have to be 2 videos. I hope, if nothing else, it was worth your time. I hope that you got some info out of it, some tips out of it. And I'm just an active player. I'm not like an especially good player. But these are just things I notice. Like that fossil that I ran past because of the exact thing I said a minute ago. That you have to look behind you sometimes for crevices and such. The irony is I'm missing just one exact fossil to complete the mission, else I'm actually done. I could go home. We've been here. No, we haven't. Because those 2 fossils, I'm absolutely sure I would have spotted earlier then. So I'm not too worried about, like, this, because I can just run a bit. More worried about what's up here. Nothing. That's... Oh, boy. Okay, the dust nearly fooled me into walking off. Now, calling in the escape. There's something to note here, is that it's not going to be where you were. At least, it might not be. Several times I have run drastically ahead of... Like, if this counts as the end of the mission, then I've run back to the beginning where the drop pod, the shuttle, you know, landed me. My landing zone was. And I had to run back a long way because the game isn't just going to give you the win, you know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be smart and I'm going to run back part way to a point where I could reach either of these 2 locations with minimal hassle. Considering that the first cave is a gigantic fucking cave, I'm going to try and be high up when I call in the supply pod. Then I'm going to mash control to highlight things like that. Like, I can't see Molly, but I know where she is. I'm going to mash that so the shuttle indicator comes up. And then I'm going to see where it is, and I'm going to try and remember the map and its twists and turns and say... Now, is this at the beginning or at the end, and I'm going to run for it? And since I'm in a good position, high up, I can reach the downstairs of the first chamber while being at the entrance of this, what I call second chamber, which it's, well, that other thing back there was, but you know what I mean. It's not high-level tactical thinking. You don't need high-level tactical thinking, but it does help. So, you know, here I am. I could easily get anywhere from here, so... Thank you, Bosco. You asshole. Where's Momo? Still coming. Okay. What the hell? Okay. Do that while I call in the thing, because that might be something. It looked like I missed an entire vein of nitro there for a second. So I'm going to call in the drop pod, right? About 3 to 5 seconds after he says anything is when the drop pod will show up. There it is. You see, it's over there. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that is right now. So I'm going to try and get a clear line of sight on it. Because feasibly, this could be in this gigantic chamber because it's massive. But if I point to my resupply pod, that's only 60 meters away. I'm going to say, you know what? It's probably in the other chamber. So that's going to be a minute and a half run back. And if it's not, I have that minute and a half back with an additional roughly minute and a half to make it to the escape pod. I'm blind. You know, if it is in that big chamber. My judgment, based on level layout, my knowledge of the currently generated map says that I'm going the right way, though. I could be completely wrong. But this is all sort of passive. And that's just me jumping. It doesn't actually make you faster up slopes. It's just a thing I do. I will say, though, as a final thing to the developers, I have noticed that a lot of key prompts tend to get dropped or ignored if you are holding shift. Which I get that it's a separate action, and the game might think you're trying to do two things at once. But it strikes me as an oddity in Deep Rock. It isn't something I commonly remember other games having. And if it's going to have that, if it's not subject to change, then that's fine. I'll learn to deal with it. You know, don't mind me. I'm just saying that this is a thing that I've noticed. And correctly, the surprise pod, drop pod was here. Go away. So I have got a fossil deposit, and I'm very weird about not leaving anything behind. So there you go. Molly's coming, and you can't actually escape until Molly's arrived, so don't be in too much of a rush to the drop pod unless you can hold out. Like, look at me, I'm in trouble, right? So that was a solo round with an engineer. I deeply apologize for getting lost, for the weird generation, and for picking a collection mission to do this on. I hope you have enjoyed at least part of the video, and that you've picked up some tips and tricks for your time with Deep Rock Galactic. Keep mining, everyone. Rock and stone.